All right, let's get into it. We'll begin with the bowl games on Thursday, December the 26th. This is the GameAbove Sports Bowl. This is at Ford Field in Detroit, home of the Lions. So we know it'll be indoors, climate controlled, no weather issues here. Pittsburgh and Toledo. Pitt Panthers 7-point favorites, 51.5 the total in this game. Again, with player movement, certainly something we have to watch for in all these games, and it's certainly something you've got to factor in to all your handicaps of these games. It looks like right now Eli Holstein, the Pitt quarterback, and Desmond Reed, they're going to miss this game due to injuries. They do have a couple of banged up offensive linemen. We'll see if they're able to return for this game. And plus, Nate Yarnell, the backup quarterback, who saw time for Pitt this year when Holstein didn't play, he's already in the transfer portal. He's out of the program, and he is not sticking around for the bowl game. So if Holstein is not healthy enough to play in this bowl game, we could be looking at a redshirt freshman and David Lynch starting at quarterback here for Pitt. And again, this is a guy with very limited reps, pass attempts at the college level. So that's definitely something you want to be aware of for this particular game is the situation. And that's why it's tough to move on it right now. And that's probably why we've seen a little bit of money show up for Toledo here in this game. Plus, MAC underdogs. We saw it, and that was an ugly cover for Western Michigan, but it was a cover nonetheless in the first bowl game against South Alabama. MAC underdogs in bowl games have done well, believe it or not, against the number the last few years. So maybe that's another reason why Toledo's taken some money, plus the fact that, Pitt could be down to a very inexperienced quarterback here at starting for them if Holstein isn't good to go. Meanwhile, for Toledo, from all indications, they haven't had nearly as much movement based on opt-outs and transfer portal movement, which is good to see. It's a little bit more of a stable situation for them. The one that's concerning here is Larry Stevens, the receiver. One of their better ones went in the portal. But other than that, a lot of their other receivers are still in place. Running backs, in place. Tucker Gleason, still going to probably start at quarterback here for the Rockets, a guy that started most of the season for this Toledo team. So we'll see how it goes. Certainly if it's Holstein at quarterback, I can make a case for the over because Pitt plays fast on offense. We know that. And even though their offense kind of, wasn't as good down the stretch, you're kind of stepping down in class here against Toledo's defense, which can give up points. So indoors, of course, so there won't be weather issues. So my first thought was bet over the total in this game. And certainly I lean Toledo at 7 or more. I mean, Toledo's not a team I want to lay points with, but you got to wonder about motivation for Pitt. You got to wonder if Holstein's going to play. They do have way more opt-outs and departures roster-wise compared to Toledo for this game. MAC underdogs have been strong the last few years, ATS in bowl season. So put it all together, lean Toledo, lean over. I have not moved on either one, though, as of yet. C-Mac, what do you think here for the Sports Bowl? Pittsburgh, Toledo.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Lynch that's gonna start here, and he really just got in 2 games. He's 6 of 8 with a pick.
Yep.
And most of that game was Louisville.
Very small sample size. Yep.
Yeah, so it's really tough to go off that. In Pitt, how much in a game like this, kind of get up for. They started out 7-0. They lose their last 7 games or whatever it was, 6 games of the year, and just kind of got their ass kicked. Everything kind of rolled at once, whether it was turnovers, the defense finally went to shit. People, finally just playing teams that they just weren't better than and got their ass kicked. This is where I want Toledo. I want them as the dog. This team's usually the favorite all the time in the MAC. I want to fade them. Kind of like Memphis we talk about. It's rare you catch them over a touchdown. I think they're live here. And one of the reasons, their defense has been pretty good all year. It's had some challenges at times, in the MAC, but overall, I think they've been pretty good. And pretty good numbers against the run and versus the pass. So I think they can hang in this game. Just wait to the last minute, get everything in and out. But over the touchdown here at this number, Toledo for me as well. Nothing on this total. I think I'm gonna touch it at all.
The only thing I'd be concerned about, because you're right, Toledo's defense wasn't that bad but they're gonna if let's say Holstein does play, and I have my doubts too. It wouldn't shock me if it's
I don't
Lynch
think
here
he
either.
is.
But
Yeah.
different level of speed athlete. The skill positions aren't bad here for Pitt. And I'll say this about the MAC schools this year. I think offensively, other than Ohio, other than Bowling Green, and other than at times Northern Illinois was a decent offensive team, I don't think there were a lot of great offenses in the MAC this year. There were a lot of bad ones. Akron couldn't move the football. Kent couldn't move the football.
Oh yeah.
Northern Illinois was up and down. Buffalo was up and down. Ball State was up and down offensively all year. It was not a great year for offenses in the MAC. So Toledo feasted basically on some weaker offenses. Might struggle a bit more. But that being said, motivation-wise and just overall roster outlook for these two games, Toledo might be more invested in this game than the Pitt Panthers.